It was really interesting to find out that there was a mechanism besides the antidiazepine receptor pathway for blood pressures to hyperpolarize the cells. And I asked the question because I seem to recall that respiratory cells have very few antidiazepine receptors. One of the reasons why antidiazepines were felt to be so dangerous, particularly in patients with lung diseases, is because they require antidiazepine receptors. Therefore, the respiratory neurons were very susceptible to their effects, whereas most of the other cells in the brain require the benzodiazepine receptor for them to have a sedating effect. And therefore, if you give a benzodiazepine, you don't get much respiratory depression because the respiratory centers don't have the receptors. Whereas if you give barbiturate, a lot of matters, you get tremendous respiratory depression. So is there two pathways? Because you mentioned that they were working with the benzodiazepines. The barbiturates worked with the benzodiazepine receptor. I was curious if there was another pathway because that was the impression there was.
Okay. That's an excellent question. Then what makes the difference between barbiturates? Because as I mentioned, the benzodiazepine is not effective without any GABA. However, the barbiturates, even though they bind in the same GABA receptor, but even if GABA is not there, in the higher doses, the barbiturate can depress the nervous system there. It has the CNS depressant effect by its own capacity. That causing the respiratory depression, that is leading to all the toxic effects there. Now, for other areas, there are two other areas that pharmacologist check. One is by blocking the calcium channel, another is by blocking the sodium channel. So either way, because sodium is essential for the neural excitation. So the more the sodium comes in, cells become excitable. So they try, but it didn't work. Because if you block the sodium channel, it blocks all the peripheral sodium channel. And especially those, the sodium channel proteins, they are not kind of selective distribution. Whatever is in the brain is in the periphery too. And the other part is the calcium channel. Sodium channel was to reduce the excitation, calcium channel was to stop the propagation of neuronal signal. So none of them actually work. But in this barbiturate case, as I said, is its own chemistry that is causing, beside binding the benzodiazepine receptor, it can produce the effect. That's what respiratory depression and other things.
Thank you, Dr. Niaz, for making this difficult subject much easier for us to understand. I have two questions, two-part question. One part is, patient that has insomnia, and even with benzodiazepine, non-benzodiazepine, still they have complaint of insomnia. You think that this kind of patient may have decreased GABA, which may be barbiturate or some other medicine can help them to increase their sleep, duration of sleep? Because I have patients like that I tried many things and still they have the same problem. That's one question. Second question is, we've been using antidepressant like trazodone, amitriptyline, and some other medicine for patients that has insomnia. Does those patients on a long-term basis have some other problem? Because these are the medicines that we use for also for depression. Do they have significant other problem over time that develop using trazodone or antidepressant for insomnia?
Okay, thank you. So, for the first part of your question, remember if you recall the slide, we said one of the primary insomnia or primary sleep disorder and the secondary sleep disorder. If sleep disorder is related to any kind of other psychiatric or mental issues, any brain damage or anything, so one of the reasons you already mentioned that what if there is no GABA? Yes, of course it can produce sleep disorder. In that case, even we give benzodiazepines, it will not produce any sleep because as you said, the mechanism wise, without the GABA, it will work. So that is one way of looking into that, whether, so that can be diagnosed using the scan or doing the polysomnography, or if there's any other pathology that is involved, comorbidity, that can be excluded. And for the antidepressant, as you said, the antidepressant we do not use here because of the adverse effect, patient develops the dependency, and most of the time they produce the psychotic episodes and the suicidal tendency. So long-term use of antidepressant is not always advisable. So the effects of antidepressant that we are taking here as a sleep inducer, that is actually not designed. It is happening because of the antidepressant effect. So that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammad Nawaz, for such a wonderful presentation. At this time, the lunch is coming up very quickly, but we are going to have an excellent lecturer, guest lecturer. He is Dr. Frederick W. Pullen. He is a professor, clinical professor of Department of Otolaryngology and Head and Neck Surgery, Miller School of Medicine, University of Miami. I welcome him to provide.
Good morning, I guess it's good afternoon. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the links between allergy and sleep disturbance. And the reason for that is that allergy does create problems for sleep, with sleep apnea. Well, what's rhinitis? Rhinitis is an inflammatory response. That's what rhinitis is. It's an inflammatory reaction within the nose. The problem is that there's many different types. The one we're looking at today are going to be primarily allergy and allergic rhinitis, which causes sneezing, pruritus, itchy nose, rhinorrhea, and of course nasal congestion, which of course can cause obstructive sleep apnea. Allergic rhinitis recently in 2018, this year, in an international consensus, was allergy and allergic rhinitis is an IgE-mediated inflammatory condition from an allergen exposure in a sensitized individual. There are various and sundry types of rhinitis. Seasonal allergic rhinitis is the one we deal with mostly. It has to do with allergies and hay fever. If you're allergic and you have a reaction in the fall or in the spring, and in the spring it's usually trees. In the summer it's grass, and in the fall it's weeds. It also, perennial allergic rhinitis can be due to molds in the house, cockroach, dust, animal dander, etc. The rest of these are important, but they're not what we're going to be dealing with today. Vasomotor rhinitis is something that is also very important because you're going to see it in the office. Vasomotor rhinitis is nothing more than a reaction that is not an allergic reaction, but it causes rhinorrhea and sometimes nasal obstruction. My old professor at the University of Michigan used to say it's only in type A individuals. Non-allergic rhinitis with eosinophilia is, again, it produces eosinophilia in the nose, but it does not fall under the category of allergic rhinitis. Gustatory rhinitis is another important one that you see in the office frequently, and gustatory rhinitis is the person that goes out to dinner and immediately after eating he begins to have a runny nose, which is embarrassing to him. Now, why is allergy important here? Because more than 50 million Americans suffer from it. 52% of Americans test positive to one or more allergens when tested. It's a sixth leading cause of chronic disease in the United States, and it's a leading cause for those people under the age of 18. Rhinitis, asthma, and atopic dermatitis are, in order of frequency, are the most common and cost the most in the United States. These diseases lead to nocturnal sleep problems, which result in daytime fatigue, somnolence, difficulty at work. What causes them? Well, it's a reaction to overload of immunoglobulin E and other chemicals which are released at the time of allergy. They can be caused by pollen, animal dander, dust mites, and infectious diseases. The impact of allergic rhinitis, 2.5% of all visits to physicians are the main cause. It causes a diminished quality of life, and the cost to the United States at this time is $14.5 billion. $14.5 billion per year, or $billion, per year, and $5 billion indirect costs. In 1948, it was $2 billion. Now it has increased tremendously. How does it cause sleep impairment? Well, congestion leads to nasal obstruction. Nasal obstruction leads to with postnasal drip, and allergic rhinitis causes oppressive sleep because of the drip and the cough. And inflammatory cytokines are released with suppression of random eye movement sleep as well as non-REM sleep. Disruption of the REM sleep leads to fatigue, reduced concentration, and difficulty at work. Here we see the health-related quality of life comments decreased in patients who have allergy. The Harvard Business Review did a study several years ago and reported on blue-collar workers and white-collar workers. In the blue-collar workers, they found that as the pollen count increased and the allergies got worse, their ability to function decreased. And the same happened with Bank One with ragweed season, that the decrease in productivity increased with the pollen season. So the pathophysiology of allergic disease is quite simple. There's a sensitization to the allergen, immune globulin E is reduced, mast cells sensitized in the nose, and the allergen propagation by further exposure, then the release of preformed cytokines and other mediators, including histamine. And then, of course, the end-organ response can lead even to anaphylaxis. Basically, what we're talking about is this, where the allergen is presented to a dendritic cell or antigen-presenting cell, which is then transmitted to a CD4 Th2 or helper cell 2, and then produces IL-4 and IL-13, IL-10 to the B cell, which then goes to the plasma cell and then produces IgE antibodies. And the sensitized mast cell then releases various mediators such as histamine, kinins, heparin, prostaglandins, interleukins, cystinyl-leukotrienes, and cytokines. One of the chemicals, we're here in a biochemistry course, and what we're doing is we're actually looking at the biochemistry of allergy and the biochemistry of how we treat it and what relationship it has with sleeping. Basically, what happens with an arachidonic acid cascade, you have leukotrienes, which are formed, as well as prostaglandins, which cause bronchospasm, mucus secretion in the nose, and other untoward problems. What we have with cystinyl-leukotrienes is that they're produced, and you have a response to blood vessel with edema, and you also have in the nose an increase in the amount of mucus, a decrease in the mucus transport, and also epithelial damage and apoptosis of the epithelial cells, which can lead even to nasal polyposis. In the smooth muscle of the lungs, the leukotrienes actually can cause contraction and are one of the major causes of of asthma. The treatments of these things, of course, are antihistamines, which are the histamine blockers. They block the histamine H1 receptor. The first class of antihistamines are lipophilic, and therefore they get through the blood-brain barrier and make you sleepy, such as Benadryl. The others, the second class, such as Claritin and others, don't do that as much, and therefore they do block the histamine receptors. Intranasal steroids are important because intranasal steroids actually are probably the best treatment for allergic rhinitis that affects sleep, because it has no effect whatsoever on sleep-wake cycle. There's reduced needs of decongestion with decongestants, however, they do affect the blood pressure and affect sleep as well. And glutathione modifiers such as Singulair and Acolyte block the C4 receptor and C1 receptor in the cycle. Well, what are the effects on sleep? This is an important problem. And the effects on sleep are this. First, histamine is released in allergic rhinitis, which causes a decrease in wakefulness, and it also increases nasal obstruction. The cystinyl-leukotriene increases slow wave sleep, but nasal obstruction is even worse than with histamine. You have 3 ILs, interleukins, 3 ILs, 1, 4, and 10, which are produced, and were studied in a study that has been published about 4 years ago, showing that these were increased in patients with allergic rhinitis, and they all had the same problem in producing increased REM sleep associated with a decreased latency to sleep onset. But IL-4 is a decreased latency to sleep onset with an increased latency to REM sleep as well, as does IL-10. The other 2 factors act through prostaglandins and actually increase the nasal obstruction even more than histamine. Prostaglandin, when injected into the nose, caused actually more blockage than did histamine. None of the above mediators actually cause an increase in sleep. We use this form, which if you want a copy of it, I think that they're available in the back of the room. This is the form we use called the Sinonasal Outcomes Test, which is SNOT-22. The SNOT-22 test is a test that we use for self-reporting symptoms, and they include not only nasal blockage, nasal obstruction, sneezing, rhinorrhea, postnasal discharge, etc., but they also include difficulty falling asleep. Are you awake at night? Do you have a lack of a good night's sleep? You wake up tired, you have fatigue, reduced productivity, and it's on a 1 to 5 basis. 1 meaning minimal and 5 meaning severe. Now the advantage of what do we do when we have somebody we know is allergic, or they say they're allergic? Well, then we have to test, and 2 tests are available. 1 test is in vivo, and 1 is in vitro. Send it to the laboratory, you get an IgE, but it's not as accurate or as much sensitivity as a skin test. There are immediate test results with a skin test, and you know what the patient is allergic to, because it's an IgE response in the skin that gives you the response. Management of allergic rhinitis, including the problems with sleep, include a progressive approach. And the stepwise approach, and the reason for it is because you don't want to start with immediately immunotherapy. We start off with avoidance, and avoidance is more important than anything else. If you can get the person to avoid the cat that they're allergic to, or to avoid dust, mold, or whatever else they're allergic to, that's more important using a HEPA filter in the house is certainly much easier than going through 2 to 3 years of allergy treatment. There is patient education, which is very important, and then, of course, the pharmacological with the antihistamines, the decongestants, and the corticosteroids, especially the nasal corticosteroids, and then, of course, immunotherapy. Allergies is like a brick wall. Every allergen produces a certain amount of vitamin, of IgE, and producing that certain amount of IgE, what you've got is you have each produces a little bit, which you finally reach histamine release, and the allergic symptoms are produced at this level. Now, if you can eliminate some of those allergens that they're allergic to, such as removing eggs and milk, and then the entire brick wall comes down, and you never reach the level of allergen load that produces symptoms. Indications for immunotherapy, basically if you fail with control, with environmental control, and if pharmacotherapy fails to adequately control the symptoms, or are bothersome, or if they've got severe symptoms in 2 or more seasons, then we go ahead and test the patient for allergies. Contraindication for allergy testing, patients on beta blockers because of the possibility of an anaphylactic reaction in the office. Poorly controlled asthma, immunodeficiency diseases, and an unreliable patient. The other thing, patients must understand if they're going to have treatment with immunotherapy, they need to have treatment for a long period of time. They not only have to consider time off from work, but cost as well. So immunotherapy is with injections. It's given injections once a week, every 5 to 7 days for a period of a couple of months, and after that, every 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes every month. It continues for 3 to 5 years, and they can discontinue it. In 75% of the cases, they will have a 4 to 5 year free of allergy symptoms after discontinuing. Injections are dose increasing all the time, and the difficulty is that the patient must stay in the office for 20 minutes after you see the patient and after the injection. Otherwise, it may have an allergic reaction on the way home. Sublingual therapy can be used at home. There are several types. There's an increasing dose or a stable dose. Over-the-counter prescription medications is the usual way, and it's with weeds and with some grasses at this time, approved by the FDA. However, drops are available that you can make in your office or you can purchase from various and sundry pharmaceutical companies. And these drops are taken on a daily basis. So therapy is daily drops with sublingual. You may increase the potency or you may keep the same, but again, we have the same exact results with 70 to 80% improvement in symptoms, and both cause reduced in medication that they're using. Now, how does it work? How does immunotherapy work? Well, basically, what we're talking about is we're talking about increasing the amount of allergen that the patient is exposed to. Yeah, it's going to be right here. What happens is that the immunotherapy gives you high doses over a long period of time, which causes a helper cell to downgrade to Treg cells and T1 cells, which then produce IL-10 and interferon, which then produce immune globulin G, which is a blocking antibody. It also decreases the number of B cells available, as well as and decreasing the number of eosinophils. Recently, it's been found that there's a decrease in the suppression of mast cells, as well as the decrease in the IL-10 and transforming growth factor. TH2, TH1, TH1, these are suppressed, so it's a down regulation of the allergic reaction. Here's a recent study that we did, which we had 30 consecutive patients, and out of that consecutive group, these are the responses to sleep problems. They were all moderately severe to severe. After eight, we had out of that group of 30, we had 8 only that had treatment for more than 6 months. And those patients actually had a response of delta. This is an immune response. So it does work for sleep problems as well. We're talking about a decrease in TH1 to TH2 cytokine production. You get an increase in that. You get a decrease in CD4 T cells. You get a decrease in tryptase and eosinophilic chemotaxis. Decreased altered chemokine production, and your interferon is more than the IL-4. Immune globulin G is produced. So immunotherapy, summary of events and symptoms. You have a decrease in symptoms, you have a decrease in medication, long-term effectiveness. You've got an acting the immunological and chemical, biochemical mechanisms. And it's an anti-inflammatory treatment. It's preventive. It decreases sleep, and it's the only treatment that influences the course of allergic disease. Thank you. Any questions? Good. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pullen, for your excellent lecture regarding the allergy and immunology that interfere in our sleep as well. I know the lunch break is going to be now, and then we are going to start from the 1:45. The things that I wanted to talk about, just 1 minute of your time, is that now the CME part is I'm not talking about. I'm talking about something that beyond CME. One of the individuals that has helped in doing this CME to be a successful one, and our effort for CME to help us in all the way, they are also outside, but they are actually part of us. One of them is actually, most of you may have noticed that a young man named Troy Grogan. He is actually the president and the chief executive officer of the Med Science Research Group, and he has helped to help all of us to be able to be here today and do this wonderful, wonderful CME conference. And I want you all to meet with him and give a grand round of applause for his countless hours of allergy end company that provided a lot of help. They are Elizabeth Magdaleno, De Jesus Davila, Linda Alvarado, Robert Glazier, Dan Rosso, and Ashley Sosna. Please give a round of applause for them. in the outside of our hall, there are certain companies that has provided us with help, and please meet with them. They are actually part of us to provide us with this conference. They are Allergent, the Vertes Farms, Leafy Well, and also Inspire. And we also grateful for our CME volunteers. I don't know all of their names, but we acknowledge their help. Thank you very much. Have a lunch break.